What am I lagging already? Haven't even started and already lagging. Um, I'm gonna see what I can do about that. Sometime today I'll get my internet rebooted as advised by. I'm gonna put my shoes on as we talk, so I can head right out the door and take my walk. Our friend Teddy saw the beavers or a beaver 2 or 3 days ago. I've missed it for about a week, but I hope to catch it today. Um, in the meantime, let's talk about peace. Let's talk about peace of mind. Who do we have here first? We have Sissy. Hey, Sissy. Grand Rising's beautiful so stars and bro stars. Cat says, good morning. 5/15/25. It is the 15th. Changes in the air. What are we sensing, Cat? Hey, Long John. Long John says, good morning. Cat says, hey to Sissy. Sorry. Putting on the shoes. I'm not wearing my traditional barefoot shoes, which is my shoe of preference. You guys get a close up of my knee. I'm putting on, they're zero drop, meaning they don't have the heel. So they're as close to barefoot shoe as I can get without being an actual barefoot shoes. Barefoot shoes, you would think they'd be less expensive because they have less material, right? They're actually fairly expensive. I used to buy a pair and they would last me 3 or 4 years. Now I'm lucky if it'll last 3 or 4 months. I got a pair for Christmas 2 years ago. I got 2 pair. Actually, I got a pair for Christmas. I got a pair on my birthday. Neither one lasted more than 2-3 months before they got a hole in it. Now, granted, I walk a lot. And I walked and ran even further back then, but still. All right, my morning complaint out of the way. Didn't know it was coming, but there it is. Hey, Susanna. Susanna hit the like. I appreciate that. Long John says, just please don't pop out a testy. I will do my best. You remember that episode of Friends? Maybe I'm dating myself. So, peace, true peace, peace of mind, peace of heart. It's the same thing. How do we get it? We all want it. What are the obstacles to achieving it? The very thought that it's something to achieve, the very thought that it's something that we can attain prevents us from actually realizing it. We wrote about it this morning. I see it remember the shrinking episode? That was Seinfeld, right? As long as we are projecting our own peace, as long as we are abjecting our responsibility to being peace, we'll never have it. Peace of mind is always something that we're searching, and we are always blaming others for its absence. I would only be at peace if this person wasn't here. I would only be at peace if this wasn't happening. I would only be at peace if everyone agreed with me, if no one caused a disturbance. Guess what? Bless the disturbances. Bless those that are there to rattle the cage, shake us up a bit. Longton says, yes, Seinfeld, not Friends. Both good shows. Those are the ones that are teaching you to turn within and discover your peace that is already present. No one is responsible for anything outside of you. No one is responsible for anything outside of you. Cosmic law. Do you know why? There is no outside of you. Man, I'm not usually glitchy in the morning. Maybe I woke up glitchy. Maybe I'm out of sorts with the universal flow. I'm only half jesting about that. All right. It's that high vibrational energy, Yogi. So I wrote this morning, the world is full of opportunities. YouTube is full of opportunities. Anyone that comes on as a troll is offering you a great service. Actually, a friend. Anyone that cuts you off in traffic, anyone that yells at you, anyone that causes any kind of disturbance or seems to, is giving you an opportunity to bless them, because guess what? Now you're seeing what only appears to be an obstacle in your peace. And that's the true opportunity and meaning and purpose of forgiveness. Guess what? You only have one purpose, and that is to forgive your way to an awakening, to forgive your way to enlightenment, to forgive your way to peace of mind, to forgive your way to a full and complete, seamless expression of love. Which means that a couple of things. One, we're not there yet, but we can be. Two, we get to practice. All of life is an opportunity to practice. How awesome is that? Someone's going to provide me an opportunity. Someone has already provided me an opportunity this morning to practice. Actually, a couple people. And hey, I've only been up for 3 hours. My glitchiness has provided me an opportunity. Don't exactly know why, though. I could do without the opportunity. Hey, Empire. Empire says hello. Hello, my friend. Hey, Empire. It occurred to me, and I apologize, that I'm not subscribed to you. I know your channel says that your channel is dead, but you may bring it back. So I'm subscribed. If you decide to bring it back, and when you decide, if you decide, I will be there waiting. Whatever content you want to put out. Full support, my friend. I appreciate you showing up. The support that you've given me. You and I have, very different worldviews and some things, but you do show up and you support me, and I want to offer the same to you. Full support. Thank you for being here. Solskjaer says, Grand Risings Empire. So what if we approach today, just today, we'll take tomorrow when it comes, as an opportunity to extend ourselves as peace, to forgive our way each and every moment. Remember, forgiveness here is a little different than what we're thinking of. A lot of people will give me arguments against forgiveness. Hear me out, though. I'm not talking about the traditional type of forgiveness. I'm not talking about the forgiveness that you know. I'm talking about a Zen style of forgiveness. I'm talking about using forgiveness as an enlightenment tool, as an awakening vehicle. We are willing to see the holiness within others, looking past the form that makes mistakes, that mucks things up, that pushes our buttons, that causes us ill will, whatever. All that happens on the level of form. I keep catching myself in mid-glitch in an awkward pose, and it is causing me to smile, causing me to laugh at my own apparent silliness as I talk. Hey, Skits. Just popping in to say hello and very good morning to y'all. Much love to you. I got to fix the glitchiness before I go live with Kat and Jack in the 5:25 live stream. We are here, we are there, We are here, but in the appearance of time, it's going to be there. Does that make sense? To talk mainly about A Course in Miracles, about forgiveness, about what it means to us, about what it might mean to you. Who knows? Maybe we'll talk about Ho'oponopono, but we will talk a lot about forgiveness, which is what we're talking about now. Forgiveness is that opportunity, asking for a miracle and A Course in Miracles. And remember, everything that I talk about here pertains to the message of A Course in Miracles because of the great peace that it has brought me. In the end, you leave Course in Miracles behind. It's just the teaching. It's just a philosophy, words in a book. It's the life that you live, the inspiration that it provides, and then go out and live it. Jesus didn't say just live by the Gospels. He said you are the Gospel. Buddha didn't say go out and be a Buddhist. He said be a Buddha, awaken. Anyway, Empire says, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I left the way I did yesterday. That's okay. Wasn't necessary you. Just some views of comments from others. I don't know if you saw when I said bye yesterday or not. It did not, my friend. I apologize. That's okay. Hey, you're back today. I appreciate you being back. And again, I appreciate your support. You don't have to agree with me, even a little bit. I don't even care if people agree with me. What I do care is about your happiness. I care about your own peace of mind. I care about my glitchiness. I care about forgiving myself in mid-glitch. And that's it. That's my concern. I always tell people, I cannot, a lot of people say, you know, I like coming here because it's because it's brings me a sense of peace, or you provide an area of peace. I do not provide a peaceful channel because that's beyond me. I can't control who comes in, and I'm not going to block people for whatever reason. Now, if they personally attack someone, yes. But what I can promise you is someone here is going to push your buttons. I promise you. I guarantee you, someone's going to push your buttons. I hope you guys can at least hear me through the glitchiness. Think of it as sort of, think of it as I'm voguing. Think of Madonna. I'm not glitching, I'm voguing. I'm giving you an opportunity to catch me in mid-pose. Long John says, I like that, using forgiveness as a tool. That's all it is. And it's not about the other person. It's about you being at peace within the moment. I refuse to let this person, event, thing, situation affect my peace of mind. And my peace of mind is dependent upon my ability to forgive. Forgiveness means coming back to this moment. This moment is fresh and new. Anything that happened, remember that word happened. It's a verb. It means that it's over. It's done. Why do I want to carry it with me to this moment and the next moment and the next moment and the next moment? I want to stay fresh. Cat is laughing at my glitchiness. Cat says, here, there, wherever, I'll be there. Long John says, is there anything in your life that you struggle to make peace with, Yogi? Yes. Anything you struggle to forgive? Yes. It took you a long time to forgive? Yes. Any forgive? Practice. Any advice? Practice, practice, practice. Forgiveness isn't static. It's not a one and done deal. One of the great lines from A Course is, love is the light in which I forgive. See the light within someone else, see the light within a situation, forgive it and move on. And if it catches up with you, forgive it again and move on. And if it catches up with you, forgive and beyond. I'm struggling these past few months. I've lost a fundamental support system, leaving me feeling unmoored. The person that I traditionally turned to, that I believed always had my back and does, but not in the way it used to be, no longer there. There is, other concerns, life stuff. I would be enlightened. I would be completely at peace if it wasn't for that life stuff. Stupid life stuff. But man, who said we're not supposed to struggle? Who said I'm not supposed to struggle? But it's the struggle that's a blessing. Can I find peace within this? Can I find peace within that? And in doing so, I try to make myself available to everyone that reaches out. Personally, if you reach out to me on Messenger, Facebook, if you reach out to me by email, I try to make myself available to as many people who ask. And I try to go live 3 times a day. I do that as much for me as I do for others. I don't want to ask anything from anyone. Just want to make myself available and see if I can live my life in that way. Can I live my life as an expression of love? Which means there's going to be, right now, a certain amount of fear and a certain amount of struggle. It's okay. I will love myself through it. There's my advice. What happens? Love yourself through it. When it happens again, love yourself through it. When something new happens, love yourself through it. How do you love? Accessing the situation. Simply say, this is happening. Man, we drive ourselves crazy with the why is this happening? Why is it happening to me, of all people? I'm a freaking yogi. I'm a lifelong student of A Course in Miracles. Why is this happening to me? Because it's life, and life happens. Remember, it's a verb. So how do I love myself through it? By recognizing my wounds, by recognizing that this hurts, and giving the same care, tenderness, and understanding that I would give to a hurting puppy, that I would have given to my stepchild, that I gave a friend, that I gave my father and my mother through 10 years of caring for her with Alzheimer's, that I gave my father when I was his end-of-life caregiver, and had literally knew everything. My number one priority with my dad was respect, to keep in mind and let him know constantly he was my father, that he was still the head of the household. He was still the one that I turned to. He was still the one that was always, always my dad. Same with my mom, that the number one key was patience, kindness, that my mom was not Alzheimer's. My mom was not a memory. My mom was not what she could verbalize. My mom was my mom. And I could find her deep within, even though she was lost. My mom was lost within Alzheimer's. Guess what? If someone's hurting you, where are they lost in? They're lost in a story, a belief that the way they get out of their own suffering is to attack you. Every attack, every seeming attack, is a plea for help or asking for love. So how do we love ourselves through any situation? By knowing, guess what? Not only is someone else asking for love, not only is someone else giving us a plea for help, we are giving our own plea. Respond. Be responsive. Be kind to yourself. Offer yourself infinite tenderness. Sorry, guys. Hey, Eve. Eve, I was just thinking about you. Let me bring up your channel real quick. I want to see where Eve stands on subscribers. Eve stands at 7,000. Congratulations on 7K. We are on our way. The goal, guys. We want to get to 10K. Can anyone help? It's so nice to see you, my friend. Hey, Raven. Speaking of friends and being happy to see. Nice to see you, Raven. Fishing and hunting, says hi, Eric. Hey, fishing and hunting. You know, I appreciate the kind reply that you left. And, you know, I said how much I support my hunting and fishing friends. I want to tell you why. You know, I stumbled upon a lot of the hunting and fishing channels through my connection with Anything's Possible. And I came upon him making venison sausage in his kitchen. And, I said this will be strange, but you have full support from a vegan. I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan for ethical reasons. Um, those who are most in alignment with veganism and its ethical stance are those who hunt and fish, believe it or not. They don't wish to cause harm. They are feeding themselves, they are feeding their family, and they are participating within that cycle of life. I do too. I do it through plants. You guys do it through your choice. Fully respect and appreciate that. I thank you for what you're doing. Again, full support for me. I have a lot of vegan friends who are offended by my own stance. I don't care. That's the offense that they take. It has nothing to do with me. Everyone is offended about something. I just try to provide them an opportunity. Feel free, be offended by me. The ego feels attacked. Yes, the attack was an illusion. None harmed in the illusion. Absolutely, beautifully said. That's a public service announcement at the end of a movie. No soul, no spirit was actually harmed in the making of this movie called Life. William, how are you, my friend? You're off today, right? Long John says, I can subscribe to whoever wants me to subscribe. Just ask me. Could you subscribe to our friend Eve? To our friend Hunting and Fishing? To Raven? To Cat and Jack? You probably already subscribed to Cat. To Soul Stars? To Squirrel Sniper? To William Hart, who is now, by the way, over 50, if he still wishes to do some live streaming. Hey, Carl, you mentioned before you walk, run daily. I wonder how many kilometer miles you walk, run. Anywhere from 6 to 10 miles a day, depending on what I feel like doing, depending on how much wildlife is just in front of me, inviting me to come film it. I used to race. I used to do ultra running. Towards the end of my ultra running career, I was walking a lot. Do you know why? Because in the really long races, 24-hour races, 100-mile races, it was actually about the same speed, if not a little bit faster, because I didn't have that slowdown. If you start out running a 100-mile race, conservative pace, 11-minute miles. By mile 40, you're doing 14-minute miles. By mile 60, you're doing 16-minute miles. By mile 80, you're reduced and you're walking with a great deal of discomfort because most people don't train their walking skills. I found that by walking a brisk but sustainable pace, I could maintain 15-minute miles. If I wanted to slow down, 16-minute miles through the entirety, and then speed up at the end and pass a lot of disgruntled runners who did not like being passed by a walker, someone that they left behind a long time ago. Just enough ego that I got a great deal of joy and satisfaction in passing a disgruntled runner and smiling, offering them my best. I'm not perfect, guys. William says, vegan is a club, but no one has authority to remove anyone from it. If you can start each day anew, pursuant, I like that word, to not just AA, but really anything. You can be a vegan in any moment or any duration of time. I agree. I use vegan as a term. It's not who I am. Just me. My goal was, as a yogi, which is just someone who practices yoga to the best of I can, to the best that I can. The number one tenet, hey Stuart, of Buddha, of yoga, ahimsa, non-harmfulness. For me, doesn't matter. Not everyone practices yoga. That's fine. Also, practicing non-harmfulness means not attacking others for the choices they make. Let's see, Carl says, well, I run 8 kilometers, 5 miles a day. Nice, Carl. That's awesome. It's a good 35 miles in a week. Sissy says, we don't always vocalize everything we observe. Doesn't mean it hasn't been acknowledged. It's so true. Raven says, Eve, I've subscribed enough to comment. Nice. What's up, Stuart? Sissy says, no one here means to offend or upset others. May peace be upon you. Thank you. Stuart says, I was watching Martine's playlist of our lives, and you popped in chat. I remember you were called a wombat. I was called a wombat? That upset you quite a bit at one time. Wombat started, it actually started with Milka. She didn't call me a wombat. I don't even know how it came up, but she brought it up, and somehow it became a code for danger. So then we had who was it? Sniper and someone else, and Eric Lapointe using code Wombat. Is when it was time to end the live stream, things escalated from there. Where says, I am definitely still considering streaming. I wanted to do a spiritual journey podcast where I lay out the whole raw truth in relation to religion and working towards peace with the Course of Miracles, but not sure how to structure it. You're much more organized than I am. I just come on and start talking. I go like probing questions, but if there isn't, I'm trying to come up with them myself. Well, just ask the questions that you have. Ask the questions of yourself that you have. Ask the questions that you've asked me before and see if you can provide your own answer. Because guess what? Any answer that I provide is your own answer. I'm just a sounding board. Let's see. Long John says, went through and subscribed to everyone that I wasn't already subscribed to. Thanks, Long John. That's much appreciated. Stuart says, I'm good. How are you, Yogi brother? I'm getting by, Stuart. I'm a little concerned with the glitchiness because I'm really looking forward to doing the live stream with Kat. Not just because we're talking about my favorite subject, not just because it's an opportunity for people to ask us questions, but I get to hang out with one of my all-time favorite people. I get to hang out with Kat. And I can just hang out. Here's my plan. Don't tell Kat. I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm gonna bask in the company of Kat and Jack and let her do all the talking and answer all the questions. She's got to do all the entertaining, guys. I'm taking the Ed McMahon stance. I'm going to be the Ed McMahon to her Johnny Carson. Kat says, no way, Jose. Hey, Miss Flipper. Nice to see you, my friend. We're going to end the live stream in just a minute, though. Empire says, to be honest, I don't know what kind of content I would make. Maybe gaming clips or Christian content. Most likely shorts as well. I don't think I'm interested in making long-form content. Long-form content has, man, it's been really neglected to, or not neglected, but put into just my workouts, just my kettlebell stuff. I'm mainly shorts, nature shorts, poetry shorts, short little talking shorts, and live streaming. And man, because I'm a live streaming channel, this glitchiness, like I said, is really concerning. But, you know, my router is located in someone else's room in the house that I share, my brother. Him and I, we inherited my father's house, so we're taking care of it together, splitting expenses. It's nice, actually. for the most part. Get along with my brother. We're two very different people. Um, but, hey, we both want to support each other. We both want to um, live in an area that we love, absolutely love, um, that would be hard for us to afford by ourselves, expensive taxes. Um, but we can make it work. I need to prepare a room in case any friends, just putting it out there, in case any friends want to come by and visit, spend some time hanging out in my beautiful neck of the woods. Um, anyway, the router is located in that room, and I don't want to go down there and adjust it because it's not my place to do so. I will ask them this morning when they wake up. Hey, so Empire, I wouldn't worry about what content. It doesn't have to be a particular theme. It only has to be in the Empire channel. Do the things that interest you moment by moment by moment without apology. That's basically what I do. This Pip says, thank you, Soul Stars. And also the Fisherman's Lodge. Stuart says, hey, to Kat, sorry about the left side of your face, Stuart. How'd that happen? Empire says, Kat wants to know, or Stuart wants to know if Kat's going live. Empire says, I feel that myself and my younger brother are absolutely different people, but we still care about each other. That's the way to do it. Stuart says, most of the crops grown go to feeding livestock. Yes. Humans would consume dramatically less as a whole if they choose to eat less meat. And that's all that people should consider. Eating a little less. Unless if you hunt for your meat, if you fish for your meat, every hunter that I know has an invested interest in conservation because they want to continue to be able to hunt for their meat. They don't want to wipe anything out. It wasn't the hunters that wiped things out. It wasn't people who wanted to feed their families. It was that wholesale, in the trapping in the early 1800s. It was to meet a demand. It was for profit. Wasn't trapping for sustenance. It was trapping to sell to fur traders to give to an industry of making beaver hats, which was a very brief fashion. An entire species was almost wiped out because there was people in certain cities on the eastern seaboard as well as across the ocean. He wanted to wear a very particular style of hat, and they were willing to wipe out an entire species. Same with buffalo. We didn't hunt buffalo into near extinction because we wanted buffalo meat. We wanted to take away not we, not me, not you guys. The U.S. government had and military and people who supported that wanted to wipe out a means of living of the natives to buffalo. They wanted them to be sedentary, to farm, to be a productive member of our society instead of allowing them to have their society and helping them sustain it. So again, it's not the hunters and the fishermen who have ever caused trouble. Long says, I'm coming by Yogi to pick you up and take you fishing. Well, my own fishing days are over, except inspired by Cat and Jack, inspired by our friend Lee. I wouldn't mind considering magnetic fishing. The perfect vegan fishing. Magnetic fishing doesn't mean I'm fishing for magnets. It means I'm using magnets to fish for stuff. Who knows what kind of stuff? Not only is magnetic fishing pretty awesome, it's a mystery. Who knows what you're going to pull out of the water? Solcer says, have you tried anything yet to reduce the inflammation? To Stuart. You got Chris Brown, bro. Is that how it's fallen? Worm says exactly, Yogi. Let's see. Cat says, Stewie, maybe. Waiting to see if we'll have clouds or sun to watch rise. Solstice says, you also share about Christian mysticism from time to time. Yes. I see balance and equity in care as well as love in this space. Gratitude to you, Yogi Eric, and chat for all the memorable experiences. Thank you for being one of the most valued and valuable of those experiences, Soul Stars, every time. Because not only do you provide very beautiful content in your channel, not only do you provide insights and inspiration here, you make me smile and you downright make me laugh out loud, which is something that I enjoy and something that so many of you actually bring me. Long John says, are you older or younger? Brother, I am the youngest of my family. Don't think that that explains anything. Don't think, well, that's why he's spoiled. That's why he's so full of self-importance. He's 2 years older. My sister is 5 years older. I'm going to tie my shoe. Pardon the knee. I'm wearing New Balance. Not endorsing New Balance. I'm just saying I do like New Balance, by the way. Sorry for your puffiness, Stuart. Everyone says it's like mushroom harvesting. Gathering herbs naturally, you never take all. Yes. So you can keep going back and keep it alive and give them the ability to thrive. Exactly. Exactly. Like I said, I come from a hunting family. My grandfather was the first forest ranger of the Wyoming State Forest, which is not in Wyoming. It's in Pennsylvania. I actually believe it's called something different. The reason it was Wyoming because it was in Wyoming County, Pennsylvania. My grandfather was, and my family, my dad's family, huge family, still there, Sullivan County, Pennsylvania. My grandfather has a plaque on High Knob Mountain dedicated to him and his service to bringing World's End State Park into existence. But he was state renowned as a bear hunter, having participated in the harvest of 45 bear, hunting with dogs back then. And my whole family still hunts. Many of them have excommunicated me from the family for me being a vegan, even though I never say anything to them about, how they should live their life. One told me that he said one of us took a bad bump down the family tree and he suspects that it's me and that my grandfather would be ashamed of me for not eating meat. I never met my grandfather. He passed away in 1950 something. I don't think that he would be ashamed of me, by the way. So, guys, sorry I have not read every comment. I'm going to have to head out and take my walk. Long John says Yogi likes fishing for bombs. Funny you said that. Speaking of my dad quit high school. He did get early dismissal. He took his equivalency to volunteer for the Navy the till end of World War II. Found himself 17 years old on a minesweep in the South Pacific, right when the Japanese knew they were losing the war and were planning a great kamikaze strike on every ship in the Sea of Japan, every American ship and British ship in the Sea of Japan. Fortunately, that did not come to fruition. Imagine a 17-year-old who never been out of his home area, very rural area, very, 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 very. Back then, you could wander in that one county for days and not come across another person. Being on a minesweep. Hey, Big Al. Nice to see you, my friend. I hope you're having a wonderful day, Big Al. I'm sending you love and peace and infinite energy, my friend. here's a salutation I'm only going to give to Big Al and Cat and Jack. Well, no, I'll give it to all of you guys, but think specifically Big Al in mind. Big Al, may your flower basket always be full, my friend. Big Al says, "Cited William." All right, guys, wish me luck. There might be a beaver out there with my name on him. Not literally. I don't want you guys to think that I go around writing my name on beavers. I don't do that. There might be a fox out there too. Big Al Zaffin says, "Thank you, Yogi." You're welcome. I was hoping that would bring a smile to your face. Guys, stay tuned this evening. Cat and Jack and her sidekick Yogi. It's the Cat and Jack show, supported by the ever silent but smiling, supportive sidekick Yogi. Brian says, "Yogi, you missed my brain teaser." Sorry, Stuart. My brain doesn't need to be teased. I was teased enough growing up. I was incessantly teased to the point of bullying, actually, even by teachers. Sniper says, "Say Squirrel, my dearest brother." Thank you, Sniper. Sniper says, "Grand Risings, all. Have a great day." You too. Solser says, "Never goodbye, only see you later for midday." Midday live, yep. And Cat and Jack for our evening wrap up. Absolutely. I hear Cat mumbling under her breath right now, saying, if he thinks that he's just going to sit there and let me do all the talking, he's got another think coming. I always have another think coming. Rome says, "Same, Yogi, bullied out of education myself." Me too. Since grade school. I will have to tell you, I've been kicked out of some of the finest high schools in the state. I was kicked out of one of the best Catholic high schools, Mount St. Joe. State wrestling championship 4 years in a row. Not me. I did try out for the wrestling team. I did make the wrestling team. I had to quit the wrestling team because my grades did not sustain me to be a scholar athlete or a scholar or to even be able to stay in the school. I immediately went to public school. I left that public school to go live back up in Sullivan County, where my dad's from, to run completely wild. Until the cousin that I was living with said, "You were a bad influence on your cousin, her son." I had to go to school. Understandable. So I signed up and went to school, and immediately ran wild again. Tried out for the football team, made the football team, had to drop out of the football team because my grades did not sustain me being a scholar athlete or a scholar. I would take the bus to school and then stick my thumb out and hitchhike. I was picked up in New York State by a cousin who was driving, saw me hitchhiking. Said, "What are you doing?" Sullivan County is one state away from the New York, or one county away from the New York border. "What are you doing in New York?" And I said, "I didn't know I was in New York." And he drove me back home. So my cousin said, "Look, you either get a job since you're not staying in school, or you got to go back home." So I went back home. Not that I didn't mind getting a job. Jobs are hard to find up there. And I started school again, immediately quit. I wandered around, hitchhiked all over the place, got in a lot of trouble, inadvertently. I didn't cause trouble, I just found myself in trouble. A lot. Constantly. Those were the days, guys. They lasted until I was 30. More or less. Long John says, "Mount St. Joe is an incredible school." I went to summer school at Gibbons once. I wrestled Mount St. Joe multiple times over the years. The top tier. Are they still top tier? I haven't followed them in a while. Even with public schools, when they occasionally would wrestle public schools here in Howard County. Hey, next time, let's talk more about your wrestling career. Stuart says, "Urban Cardi, 5 minute room." Joe's reading. Donnie is playing chess. Jordan is dancing. Danny is dancing. What is the fifth man doing? The fifth man is reading a brain teaser, giving up entirely, and going out to take a walk. That makes me the fifth man. The fifth man is a mystery. Sorry, Stuart. I can't do a brain teaser. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, 6 o'clock. Almost 6. I got to go. That's why. Drop your answer. Thank you, Roy. Well, here's the thing with me. I had a speech impediment. I had to go to a speech therapist. I would say certain things funny. I still do. I still stumble across words. Hi, Karen. And people found that very funny. More so, they found me being embarrassed funny, including teachers, who would have me sometimes stand up in front of the room and say things that they knew I couldn't say. I would dread introducing myself because I had trouble pronouncing my first name. And I would ask, everyone knows who I am? Nope, I had to stand up and say it. I had to face the same round of laughter repeatedly. I became defensive, but not in an overt way. I did learn to start swinging. Not that I was a swinger, swinging my fist pretty early on because I'd rather have people be afraid of me. And then I actually learned this even sooner. Making people laugh instead of them laughing at me, being able to cause the laughter was a great secret weapon. Eventually I learned, and it took me a while, just be open. No one's attacking me. Every attack is a self-attack. Soulstar says, I also have a speech impediment or two. It's difficult, isn't it, my friend? It's still difficult. It's much better. And I have my own use of the English language that concerns some people, especially a English teaching mom. Long John says, yeah, Mount St. Joe's always top level to this day. Awesome. They found Conry at your expense. Same for me. Yeah, it's rough, William. It is rough. Stuart says, I gave you the answer. Danny was knitting. The fifth man was playing chess, as chess is a two-player game. Gotcha. Sorry, Stuart. I didn't give that the attention that it deserved. Just my mind is wandering. Soulstar says, yes, even after 4 years of speech therapy. Yeah, that's probably about what I had. Long John says, I went to public school and we were county champs, therefore we wrestled Mount St. Joe a good bit. See him in the French tournament every year as well. That's awesome. Hey, congratulations for wrestling in the county champs. So it says, no, too early. I think it's always too early for my brain and a brain teaser. My brain doesn't need to be teased. It needs to be gently encouraged. If you guys, I was mentioning to a friend earlier this morning, I do my best not to ask you guys for anything. Not my role. I just want to give as much as I can, to the extent that I'm able, for whatever that's worth. Sometimes I don't feel like it's enough, but that's on me. It's never on you. Here's what I will ask. Gentle encouragement. Don't tease my brain. Just gently encourage me. Don't look at my brain and say, nanny, nanny, boo-boo. I don't need that kind of teasing. Gently encourage. Hey, Redeemer, my friend. ADHD, all done. He didn't. I like that. I like your acronyms, my friend. Thank you so much. Our friend Serving My Redeemer is greatly inspired. He's in the flow. Touched upon something greater, living his life as that expression. And it's a beautiful thing to absorb, observe, and be part of. I hope you guys can join. You're well articulated now, Yogi. Well, thank you. I'm feeling particularly articulated. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to say particularly articulated, but hey, for all those who ever made fun of me back in grade school, particularly articulated, take that, put that in your grammar book and smoke it. For those who smoke grammar books. All right, guys, I'm out the door. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for the smiles. Thank you for the laughs. Come hang out at the Cat and Jack Show, 525. Her sidekick Yogi will be there, smiling, answering questions, having fun. It's going to be exclusively talking of what can we do for you? How can A Course in Miracles help you? How can tarot cards help you? How can quantum healing hypnosis? How can yoga? How can Ho'oponopono? Hey, whatever like has helped Kat and I navigate the troublesome waters of life from time to time. All these little tools that we've managed to use. Hey, Commander, we'll offer, we'll talk about them, we'll answer questions, and maybe we can help you develop your own tools or find something that might be useful. Remember, the use of a tool is limited. Use it as long as you need it, and then leave it behind and live your life. Live your life with infinite kindness and forgiveness, and watch what happens. I love you guys. Thank you, Long John. Soul Star says, love you guys, and see you again soon. We will see you. Be on the lookout for each other. You guys are going to do great things on the interwebs today. I want to be there to see it. Take care, guys.